Minasan konnichiwa, yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Hello, this is Akirathenephilim here along with Ragid Assassin.
What's up?
So today's podcast, which actually been not so long since we got messed up on the first one.
Yeah, we just won't go into details about the first one.
Yeah. So right now the background that we're gonna be using is Jump Force. As soon as it's Sekul.
Wow, Akira.
I haven't played this game in a while since the game first came out.
Why am I not surprised?
I've been focused way too much on Resident Evil 2.
Speaking of, since we're doing just random things that pop into our head, have you seen, have you heard of the podcast that a couple of the YouTubers do?
A couple YouTubers?
They're big Harry Potter fans, such as myself.
Well, in terms of for Harry Potter, I don't really know.
So you don't know of Tessa Netting and Brizzy Voice's podcast?
I haven't really watched much of the channel though, as much.
Yeah, they've got their own podcast, and I saw about it while I was watching one of their videos, and I believe it was Tessa's video that I was watching, and they said that their podcast, Fantastic Geeks and Where to Find Them, is coming back.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
What was it about to say? In terms of, speaking of voice acting, though, I know for people that probably had seen the last podcast that kind of failed a bit.
Yeah.
But I was gonna, basically before that video ended, I was gonna say that people just need to stop with this, stop half-assing information about the whole VIX situation.
Yeah, like get your information first and make sure your information is credible.
Yeah.
Otherwise, don't even try to say anything at all.
Yeah. Hold on. I may have to put my headphones like this and talk a bit louder, because I can barely hear myself think.
Dude, I barely hear the game.
That's because it's playing through my headphones.
Akira?
Yeah.
Well, I can still hear it through the headset that I have on.
You know you could use your special move.
For those of you wondering, I am not the other person playing against Akira.
Are you sure you want to keep on beating me like this? Charging at me like that?
That's a dumb move. Even I know that. I made that fatal mistake earlier today.
I can know what you keep on hitting me.
Why is he only in a white t-shirt?
Because I'm kind of knocked off his outfit. Come on, almost there. Almost there. There we go.
Damn!
I'm a Bleach fan. Alright, Sun Depth is one of my favorite in Bleach. And the thing is that I I don't know. I'm so used to like Japanese video games.
We so got off podcast,
Yeah,
but okay, whatever.
So got off the topic.
Well, no, we don't really have any specific topic to talk about. Like,
You guys talk about Naruto.
Well, I could talk about how, what was it? I could talk about the new show that, okay, looks like Mighty Shadow's online. But,
Mighty Shadow being our other friend.
yeah.
Yeah. Is that? Was that Yu Yu Hakusho?
Yep.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna go with Solskjaer. Dio from JoJo Bizarre Adventure. If the MC Assassin asked me how I know Dio's name, that's because he basically showed me, or basically he told me to watch season 1 of that show, which I still think that show is kind of stupid in my opinion. Oh, I was about to say, you better not use my character. Denji.
Rukia.
Gon. You should choose Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yugi. Wow, they actually have. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're gonna put Kiba in as a DLC character.
Kaiba.
Or, dang, why am I thinking of Kiba from Naruto?
Seto Kaiba.
Yeah, for some reason I was thinking of like Kiba from Naruto for some reason. Him and that stupid.
Well,
dog.
it almost is spelled the same.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
it's spelled
pronounced different.
Yeah.
It's basically spelled the same, just pronounced differently.
Well, technically Kaiba is spelled K-A-I-B-A.
Well, whatever. But I know I understand how you can get them confused. Damn, bro. On the attack with Goku. And Akira is still kicking ass.
I sure you won the back, Ray. Took half of your health.
I know. This dude's wait, that dude's from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Yeah.
Almost seems like it almost seems like he should be from Persona. Goku versus Goku. That's an interesting match.
Oh, I forgot that I can use the spirit bomb. I'm still kicking ass.
Yeah, don't feel bad. I wouldn't ever be able to beat him in this game.
You're lucky I didn't use black coffee.
Goku destroyed. Super Saiyan Goku.
Yep. So basically, I guess we're doing a commentary.
I know, right? Like, we were supposed to be doing a podcast and it just dwindled into a freaking commentary.
Yeah, I'm gonna use Yugimoto for this one. Along with Asta from Black Clover.
Dude, how come no one's been choosing freaking Yu Yu Hakusho, man?
I mean, like, I would have used them, but I'm trying to, like...
I'm trying to remember his actual name. I think it's like Yusuke.
Yeah. It's gonna be Luffy versus Luffy, I guess. Luffy, Naruto, and...
Dude. Yusuke has a freaking... Wait!
He chose Midoriya!
Did you seriously just choose Midoriya from Boku no Hero Academia?
Oh,
Speaking of,
did you know they
how far are you in Boku no Hero?
I'm actually caught up to the movie.
I am only on... I'm on season 2. I have to finish it. I have to finish watching Boku no Hero.
I'm all caught up in all 3 seasons and the movie. The only show that I'm not that caught up in is Black Clover. Yeah.
Dude, the character from Black Clover. That's another anime that I gotta watch. And actually, we could probably watch that later tonight, couldn't we?
Yeah, I have season 1.
Yeah. It's one of the animes that I haven't seen. One of the many. Ah! Dark Magician Girl. And then Dark Magician.
You press L2, but you have to press it. That didn't really do that much damage.
He's like not even switching his character. He's been trying to, but can't. Who's kicking who's ass? I'm so confused. Yeah, you're done.
And that was only on round 1. It's L2. You press L2 to switch.
Who's got Yugi? Oh, he's playing as Midoriya, okay. Yeah, good luck with that. Okay, so back to the podcast.
Yeah, that was like an awkward silence.
I know. I know, right? But, okay, here's a question. And the audience, or the people watching us later on, can feel free to leave a comment about this.
Yeah.
If you could have one anime be real, which anime would you want to be real?
Honestly, out of all, I would probably say, what was it? Not Kurokami, because that whole doppelganger system is...
Black, yeah, the whole doppelganger, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but if I had to say, I'll probably say a high school, not high school next. Infinite Stratos, at least.
Okay, Infinite Stratos, that's a good one. That's a good pick.
Yeah. And probably Dragon Ball, mostly because...
Yeah, mostly so you could be a Saiyan.
Yeah.
I think, well, my preference would be Fairy Tail. No, just because magic.
well, if that's so, then there's other shows that
I know, but I love the different magics of Fairy Tail. Because there's holder types, there's caster types, there's different types of magic in Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
Some that can be taught and some that can't.
Yeah, but
It just really depends. And that's what interests me about Fairy Tail and why I would want the Fairy Tail anime to be real.
yeah. The only reason why I said definite Stratos on my part is because I get to pilot a really cool mech suit.
Yeah, that would be pretty damn awesome.
Yeah, but being in a classroom full of, but being the only guy in a classroom full of women.
Oh
Probably,
man, that would not end well.
yeah.
You'd have a lot of chicks wanting to date you, but at the same time, you'd have a lot of them that would hate you.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's just like it was with Ichiko and Cecilia. Cecilia absolutely hated that Ichiko was, you know, even at the school in the first place.
yeah, and then after that mock battle, though, she immediately just did a 180.
Yeah, after the mock battle that he almost basically kicked her ass.
Yeah.
Well, basically did kick her ass. If it hadn't been for his fucking shield running out, he would have beat her ass.
Yeah. And then, what's even worse of a show to be in is Konosuba. Like just being transferred, just dying and being transported to another world, like how the main character was in Konosuba, isn't a good idea, especially
Konosuba or In Another World with my smartphone.
basically any anime that the main character dies and then gets into another world. I mean, like, I wouldn't really mind being like
I mean, I wouldn't mind being transported to another world, but dying and being transported to another world, no.
yeah, like
But just being transported to another world and still be able to come back to our world, that'd be fine.
I mean, like, now the worst character that had the worst experience of being in another world in any anime is Naofumi from Rising of the Shield. Let me know why I said that. Mainly the reason why is because if you watch the show, which this might be a spoiler alert, by the way, the main character in the first episode, he's basically got in a party with the king's daughter.
Oh yeah!
And then the king's daughter basically frames him, basically frames him, and what the I'd explain it because I'm in the mad battle, but
Basically, the king's daughter frames the main character for, what was it? Rape, and then, so the character just decides F it, and then ends up in a party with
a demi-human skull raccoon.
with a demi-human raccoon chick. And then he also, along the way, gains another party member in... Oh... I don't even remember what their name was.
You know what I don't remember because...
I don't know, I defer to you for this one because I've never actually seen it. I've just heard about it and you've told me a little bit about it. Yeah.
That's my favorite. But yeah.
The whole time we're sitting here.
I won. At this point, I actually feel bad for the second play because he didn't even win once, not even one round.
I know. I feel bad.
Yeah. And I'm using.
I feel bad, and I'm not even playing.
Yeah. So, but anyway, what was it? There was one show that I started watching the Japanese dub of. That is so weird, but yet the show is really good. It's called Camper. It's basically what the show is that for some reason, which I question the directors and the animators of the show. So the main character wakes up, he has this bracelet on him that automatically turns him into a female girl fighter. And so he
Dude, this sounds like gonna be the Twin Tails. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
This is different though. Like, so these characters.
Dude, this sounds like a fucking rip-off version of gonna be the Twin Tails.
Yeah,
so let's just stop right there for right now. And let's just stop that there because that just sounds like a rip-off version of gonna be the Twin Tails.
I mean, like, it's not really a rip-off because the show is a lot older than that, than gonna be the Twin Tails one. But we can, what was it? Like, how the show was is that there was like these, is that each girl or each woman in the show has like supposed to like kind of fight to the death, kind of. Though like they're all female fighters except for the main character. And so the main character, by the way, is madly, obsessively in love with his best friend, who she happens to be gay.
Oh, that sucks, bro.
And so the main character's best friend ends up liking the female version of the main character. And so, but yet starts to hate the male version of him.
I don't know, bro, but have you ever heard of the I think it's some new movie or something? It's all about how you can play as people. Like gaming people can play as actual people and fight and kill people. It's got have you ever seen Olympus Has Fallen?
Yeah.
You know who the guy who plays Mike in that?
Yeah.
It's got him in it. And my friend Rabbit, he showed me the video for it, and I'm like, dude, this looks awesome. Like, I want to see this.
Yeah. Now the only movie that I really want the only movie that I really wanted to see the most is actually two. I want to see the new John Wick movie that's coming out.
That looked good. I saw an advertisement for it, and it looked pretty damn good. I saw an advertisement for Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah, that one.
I want to see it, but I want to see it only because it looks really, really good, and only because it's going towards Peter's roots where he falls in love with MJ.
Yeah.
And he also thinks MJ is falling for him.
Yeah.
And that's part of the trailer that caught me, and I was just like, dude, yes. And the fact that Fury is trying to get him to take over as basically the next Iron Man because of Tony Stark being dead because of Avengers. Spoiler for those who haven't seen Avengers Endgame. Stark does die.
Yeah, I was actually wanting to talk about the movie though.
I have yet to see it, but I do know that Stark dies, and that's about it.
Do you want me? Is it okay for me to tell you how?
Yeah, I figured Stark was gonna die from the Avengers Endgame trailers.
Is it okay for me?
Because he's sitting there floating in fucking space.
But can you tell?
In a ship.
Is it okay for me to tell you how he kind of does it?
Because of the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, like the thing.
Because he uses the Infinity Gauntlet to reverse the damage that Thanos made.
Yeah, and no, he didn't really reverse it. That was the Hulk that reversed it the first time. When Iron Man used the Infinity Gauntlet, he just basically killed Thanos along with all of his goons. So.
Yeah, but what should have happened was what I believe might have been better is if they had let Star-Lord use the Infinity Gauntlet instead of Tony, because we already know that
Yeah.
he can handle the Infinity Stone for a short period of time because he's basically almost part cosmic entity.
Yeah, but the other thing too that you gotta remember is
So
that
he could probably handle the power of all 6 Infinity Stones being on the Infinity Gauntlet.
well, probably not all 6 because
With the Infinity Gauntlet, the Infinity Gauntlet helps channel the powers of the Infinity Stones, which also lessens the power of them, which in turn makes it to where he could wield it and do a lot of good.
yeah, but there's a drawback to it. Like in the Avengers Endgame, when Hulk was using the Infinity Gauntlet, Hulk said that the Infinity Gauntlet has some part of gamma radiation, and when the Hulk used the Infinity Gauntlet, it still kind of destroyed his arm, though. So even though Star-Lord can handle one Infinity Stone from the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, he probably can't handle all 6 of them because it might destroy him.
But that's a risk that he would probably be willing to take.
Yeah.
He'd probably be willing to take that risk if it meant saving people and bringing people back like Gamora and all them.
Yeah. Now, one thing I do want to take note of in the movie, which again, sorry for any spoilers, is that there was a part in the movie where Thor, basically after Thor chopped off Thanos' head, though a few years later,
Thor's fat in the movie.
like I was sitting there when I was watching the movie. I was sitting there. I was like, when is Thor gonna go back into being in shape at some point?
No, I heard about Thor being fat, and I'm like, I can't even picture that.
Yeah, and for
like I can't picture the actor who plays Thor. I believe his name is Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
I can't picture him being that fat. No, man. Every time I think of Chris Hemsworth, I think of some dude I think of him being like really ripped and shit. I don't think of him being fat and shit. Like, bro, I've always known him to be fit because of Thor, and now they've gone and done that to Thor. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and the other thing too that I was about to say, some people, and even I thought differently though, because I didn't read the full comic I read the comic of Captain America, but I didn't remember who took the place of Captain America after Steve Rogers.
It's probably Bucky Barnes.
Well, no, it was actually, I forgot what the black guy name is though.
Sam?
Yeah,
is it Sam Wilson or something shit like that? It was Sam something because he's technically actually the Falcon.
Yeah.
He's actually technically Falcon and what was one of the other things I was going to talk about? Something, and it was about one of the movies that's like new. It wasn't Spider-Man Far From Home. It wasn't Endgame.
Which actually, as I was saying, is that it was now when I was watching the movie after Steve Rogers went back in time to put back the Infinity Stones at its original timeline. When Steve Rogers came back, he came back looking really old, sitting on a park bench because he spent 30 years hanging out with his true love. That basically, you know the one that Steve Rogers
what was her name?
I
only know her by Agent Carter. Peggy Carter.
Yeah, and so he stayed in an alternate timeline with her. So to the point where it basically changes. So in the past, when he changed, he never got frozen in ice in the original movie. And now, because he's with Peggy Carter, So now he basically aged rapidly. So then he passed off like the shield to Falcon.
Sam.
Or Sam. And at first
I think after Sam it's Bucky, because but from what I know from the comic books, it goes from, the shield goes from Steve Rogers to Bucky Barnes, because Steve ends up dying and Bucky ends up getting the shield because he was the only one that knew how Steve fought and, you know, like everything like that. But Bucky went and made his, you know, like, he went and had his own suit that was different from Steve's and things like that. But I also could be wrong on this, so anyone who is a really big fan of the comics, please let me know if I am wrong, and if I am, you know, feel free to correct me anytime I'm wrong.
Yeah, and one thing that I do want to talk about too, which is completely off topic, though, that I found on the Crunchyroll news thing a while back, was that I don't know who wrote the article, but which again, it's a good thing to find out. But it's
I figured, I remembered what it was now.
But it's not really like that important. Like, for example, there was an article where basically this guy wrote saying that, oh, BTS likes anime, but yeah, okay, so yeah, that's cool to find out, but it's not a big deal.
Like, it's not a big deal, it doesn't matter.
Like, BTS is no, it's not, yeah, I guess in some
racist.
I mean, like, even
it does.
Even so, and the thing was that, and there was one part of the article where it's like, I think it was either Jungkook or Suga that deleted Twitter off his phone so he could install Crunchyroll on it, and they made a big deal out of that. And I was like, so what? John, like even like Samuel Jackson.
Dude, if I was an actor, like any of the actors that I watch on any of the movies that I've seen, and you know, that was me, I'd be like, so what? Get the hell over it. You know, like,
yeah,
it's their decision, their choice in life. Let them, you know, just let them make their own damn decisions.
I mean, like, it's not like it's affecting
it's not like it's affecting us.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's...
Oh, so what? Some people won't get to see what their favorite, you know, if their favorite celebrity tweeted something.
Yeah.
And
I mean, like...
You learn to get over it. That's life.
I mean, like, unless if it's like something like Bill Cosby, with the whole Bill Cosby scandal.
Hey.
Or...
We are not getting in the whole Bill Cosby scandal again, dude.
No.
We did that once already on this, on another podcast.
No, it wasn't Bill Cosby scandal that we talked about.
Yes, it was. We talked about the Bill Cosby one at one point in one of the podcasts.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
And I may have a shitty ass memory, but even I can remember that day.
Yeah. And that was back, and we made that podcast like back around when it was new.
Yeah.
Like, but anyway.
Yeah.
But unless if there's serious like news that directly affects people around.
Yeah, like directly affects the people around you, or like directly affects everyone on Earth.
Yeah.
Like, don't post it.
Yeah, I mean, like, in the
like,
thing.
Why would it matter to us, you know, about something some of us probably don't even care about?
I'll tell you after the podcast. But anyway.
Speaking of, the Captain Marvel movie.
Oh.
That looks good.
Yeah, I actually seen that.
I want to see it. No, I haven't.
I actually seen that. I actually seen that with my dad.
I have yet to see it, but it looked, the trailers I've seen for it look really, really good.
Yeah.
The actress that they have to play Captain Marvel,
Yeah.
I think actually does the character quite a bit of justice.
I mean, like, yeah, but I don't really agree with the actress's motive.
Captain Marvel, or Carol Danvers as she's known in the comics, is actually part of another part of S.H.I.E.L.D. called Sword.
Yeah.
And she works with Sword, and basically they're all about, you know, threats from space.
Yeah. But the one thing I do have to say about the movie was good, but don't get me wrong. But I dislike Brie Larson's views. The actress that plays as Captain America.
I would understand that, but yeah. What I'm hoping that they eventually will make is a movie like the Fantastic Four, you know. Have you ever read the comic books?
Yep.
So you remember how the Fantastic Four, you know, fought the Skrull?
Yeah.
Like, I really wish they would put that into a movie.
Yeah.
Because that would be a pretty damn awesome movie to watch.
But instead, we got a crappy reboot.
Yeah, we got a crappy ass reboot of the Fantastic Four.
Don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong. The actors and actress from that movie that play the Fantastic Four are good. They're good at what they do.
Yeah. No.
But why reboot the Fantastic Four when the original one is still really good? It's probably still one of the best Fantastic Four movies out there.
Now, the one thing too that some people keep on saying to me, though, all because I think that Michael B. Jordan does not play well as Johnny Storm in the movie because how.
It's funny because the person who it's funny because with the original Fantastic Four, the one that had
like the actor for Steve Rogers.
Yeah, that had what was his name? Chris something. All I know is there's two Chris's that I knew of in the Marvel universe: Chris Hemsworth and the other one that plays Steve Rogers.
The only two Chris's that I know of in terms of the entertainment industry is Chris Hemsworth and Chris
Pratt. There's Chris Pratt, and then there's who plays? Fuck. Trying to remember.
And if you don't know who Chris is, he's basically the English dub voice actor for Frieza in Dragon Ball.
I don't remember, but yeah, the first one where they have the actor who plays Captain America as Johnny Storm is actually really, really good. Yeah. As is the second movie, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, but this is what I'm trying to get at.
Like, those are actually really good movies. So why make a reboot with younger actors and actresses playing Mr. Fantastic, Susan Storm, Ben Grimm or some shit like that, Johnny Storm? Like, how does this make... I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad that they decided in the reboot to broaden their horizons, so to say, and cast a darker skinned guy as Johnny Storm.
Yeah, black guy.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, I have no problem with people of skin playing different characters that's from a different skin color. It's just that
don't mess with the originals, bro.
Yeah,
like never mess with the originals of anything.
Like, for example, in a movie, while I was watching the reboot of Fantastic Four, the whole time I'm trying to figure out, okay, so Johnny Storm...
I was trying to figure out what the fuck was going on, man.
Like, I was trying to figure out, like, okay, so Johnny Storm is related to Susan or Sue Storm. But yeah, Susan or
is
Sue
white and Johnny was darker skin.
Like
why mess with it you know.
Yeah, like at least either make.
And also, the person they have playing in the reboot, the person who they have playing Mr. Fantastic, he plays a really he plays a character, specific character in the Divergent series.
Yeah.
And he actually does really well in that series. He plays that character very well. I also think even in the reboot that he plays a pretty damn good Reed Richards.
Yeah.
But he doesn't play the type of Reed Richards that I think would appeal to an audience. Not like the original Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I meant like the one thing too, which
see them gaining their powers at the young age that they are in the reboot is, I mean, like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But them being the age they are in the original movie, it makes sense with them gaining their power.
Now, the one thing,
and also in the reboot, they landed on they were on some planet when that storm hit and gave them their powers. Whereas in the original one, it was a cosmic storm.
Yeah.
Why mess with that?
I mean, like,
why change things like that?
I don't remember very much off of the original comics of how they got their powers. No, except for it was something about like some freak accident up in space. But
yeah, it was a cosmic storm because they were trying an experiment with flowers and in the cosmic storm, and the cosmic storm ended up entering Victor Von Doom's like space station thing.
Yeah.
Which is how they started gaining their powers. You know, Johnny as the Human Torch, Ben Grimm as, well, the Thing.
Yeah.
Susan Storm as the Invisible Woman, and Reed Richards as well.
Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic.
Now, the one thing... Now, speaking of, like...
But my question is, why is Mr. Fantastic power almost like that of Plastic Man's? Being able to stretch your body and basically turn it into anything?
Yeah.
Like, being able to stretch any part of your body, like, being able to stretch your body, like, does that include any part of your body? Because that's a little weird. That would be a little weird in bed if that were the case.
Yeah. Now, the one movie that I do want to talk about, which I meant to talk about when it first came out, and it's a Marvel movie, but now, have you ever seen Black Panther?
Yes.
Now, I enjoyed that movie.
I did too.
At the same time, I still think people made way too much commotion about it and took it way out of waters. Like,
yeah.
For example,
it was good, but like it didn't live up to all the hype that I had been hearing about it, and I'm like, it's like, good, but it's like it's not that good.
Like, it's the like for me, well, not for me.
It's not anything against any of the actors or actresses. It's just, I think the dialogue could have been written better.
Yeah.
I also think that they could have gotten rid of some scenes that weren't needed.
Yeah. And the other thing too is that I do want to say that now I have, like, again, have no problem with any like actors, actresses, or a movie itself being like a full one ethnicity cast, but what I've been hearing from people sometimes, even from some of my subscribers, saying that, oh, this is the first ever all-black movie that had ever came out. And
no, it's not.
I was like, no, it isn't. I'm not like, it may be the first, like, superhero movie that had, like, mostly black actors and actresses in it, but it's not the first, like, movie ever that had, like, just almost entire full black cast. So
Yeah,
and
'cause there are others. I don't know any, but I do know that there are others.
yeah. So, and I'm just so sick and tired of like people making just a huge deal and making the movie way better than it already is. I mean, like, for one thing,
they try to make it sound better than it really is.
Yeah, I mean, like, it didn't really do that well in box office compared to like movies like Captain Marvel or
Venom.
Yeah, but it did fairly well. And that's why and I'm not downplaying the movie or anything. It's just that don't get me wrong, it's a really good movie, but again, it's like people overhyped it so much to the point where they try to make it something that it's not.
Yeah, and like with it's like there are other movies that have had that done.
Yeah.
But one of the movies that I really thought actually did live up to the hype that it was getting was Venom.
Yeah.
That was one of the only ones that I thought actually lived up to the hype it was getting.
And it was actually following the comic all the way through too.
Yeah. And I find it funny because I still keep seeing whenever I'm watching YouTube, I'll sometimes get advertisements, and it's usually an advertisement for Venom. Yeah. And it's usually always when he's in the store. and Venom goes, "You'll be this you'll be this armless, legless, faceless thing rolling down the street like a turd in the wind."
Yeah. And my favorite part in that scene though in the movie was like,
and then he's like on second thought.
Then freaking Eddie Brock was like, looks at the woman and was like, I have a parasite. And Venom was like,
"Good night, Mrs. Chen."
And Venom was like, "A parasite? Apologize! Apologize!" No, that was my favorite scene.
Yeah, when he's just, "Apologize! Apologize!"
Which reminds me,
and
I gotta watch that
movie. In the comic books, they make Venom out to be this evil being, but really, it's just a symbiote that's trying, to stay alive.
Which, again, the symbiote...
I mean, it does have to feed off of its human host, but...
Which, depending on the human host that takes over...
Yeah.
Though, which, in the comic books, Venom is, like, a antagonist only because, like, the symbiote took over Eddie Brock. Though, and Eddie Brock already has, like, anger towards
he
Peter.
already has anger and shit like that. But see, when... Like, it's like this. When Venom was attached to Peter Parker.
Yeah.
The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, anyway.
I'm not like...
The Tobey Maguire Peter Parker, I should clarify for everyone out there. When it first, was on his suit.
I'm not like...
It wasn't feeding off of... It was still technically feeding off of him, but...
Yeah, but
like,
it wasn't
it wasn't like anger or anything like that. It was feeding off of... It was helping him.
Yeah.
As it was helping him as well as helping itself.
Yeah, like, for example, like, okay, so... It
was basically helping itself by helping Peter Parker.
Yeah, and the one thing, too, that people keep on getting wrong about Spider-Man 3, that Tobey Maguire movie, is that people have been saying to me that, like, Venom is taking over Peter's mind, and that's why he acted out.
No,
even though it's actually Peter Parker himself, because he had all that power.
Yeah, he was letting... Peter was letting the power go to his head.
Yeah, and
it wasn't Venom, making him do that. It was the power that Venom gave him that made him the way he was. So technically, it wasn't Venom that was doing it.
Yeah.
It was all Peter himself.
And now, switching to a different topic, because we've been talking about Marvel a long-ass time.
And so, Marvel's got some great-ass movies, man.
Yeah. Let's see.
I mean, that's tough to argue, man. You can't argue with Marvel having some great-ass movies.
I mean, like, you could make an argument saying that the movie Aquaman could be, like, the
Well,
movie...
that's actually DC.
Yeah, I know it's DC. I'm just saying, like, you could make an argument.
DC has some decent ones, not gonna lie.
Yeah, but...
Like, it's got Aquaman. That one was actually not that bad. I love how they brought back... I love how in Aquaman, spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen it, they brought back the OG Aquaman outfit.
Yeah.
Like, they brought back the OG outfit, his theme song. Like, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, and I know I said no more, and I know I said, like, I gonna, like, transition from, like, comics and movies from Marvel, but I do want to have to put this out there because it's more of like a what if, and kind of goes to, like, the next topic.
Okay.
Now, what if, like, I was trapped in, like, in any, like, what if I was, like, trapped inside, like, the Avengers movie as, like, my character, and then begin, it'd really be, like, the whole, like, Ultron and
the whole thing that happened could technically be avoided by that.
Yeah, like,
and if you think about it, it's written that way for a specific reason.
Yeah, like, for example, like, if my character...
Because in the comic books, Hank Pym and Tony Stark together create Ultron.
Yeah, but as I was trying to say is that, and this topic does happens to do with my character, mainly my YouTube channel character, though, and because I made like and because of a comic that I kind of made, but how my character would basically take care of, like, let's say if my character was stuck in Infinity War, and my character sees Thanos for the first time. All my character has to do is basically touch Thanos.
My back.
Either touch Thanos with only a finger.
I gotta sit up. My back hurts.
Either my character...
I stretched out and hurt my back.
I'm
getting fucking old.
Like, this is how my character would deal with Thanos. How my character would do it is that if my character sees Thanos for the first time, all my character would have to do is
just
simply
touch him with one finger and just...
Like, just begin... Like, all my character has to do is, like, touch him with only one finger and erase his soul.
Touches Thanos one finger, Thanos gone.
Yeah. Or even better yet, if it was in
oh, my head hurts. Oh, I stood up too fast. Fuck.
Or even better yet, if my character was in endgame after Thanos basically erased the population.
Your character would be one of the ones that actually survived.
Yeah, all my character has to do is basically just fly up to space, destroy the planet, destroy basically the dimension, the whole Marvel dimension.
The whole Marvel universe, actually, is what your character would have to destroy. Otherwise, you'd still have
my character
people from Marvel running around.
Which, by the way, viewers, if you don't know anything about my character, though, the character
it's how he got his name. It's the name of his character.
Yeah, and it's actually something that, and it's part of it is actually from a comic that I was working on a long time ago. But ever since then, it's been
a long time ago.
Yeah, and by the way, my character.
How many years?
Around, like, probably 4 or 5 years. And my character's, like, overpowered as hell, though.
Yeah, your character's too overpowered, if you ask me. Like, your character has too much power.
Well, the thing is that
power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Well, the thing is that my character only has very few abilities.
Yes, I just went philosophical on that.
Like, for example, my character runs on is half angel, 30% human, mostly wolf and also part kitsune. But I'm gonna kind of explain his backstory a bit so you guys know. So my character is named Akira
Prepare
Watanabe.
for a long backstory.
So my character's name is called Akira Watanabe, also known, which my character originally is born mostly angel at first, though, because like I said, he's 30% human too, but for some reason, cool.
What's that? Oh yeah, I've seen those. You on Wish?
But as I was saying, so my character.
Yeah, I've seen those. Those look awesome.
So my character, basically, my character was born around, I would say, back around Adam and Eve time. Like, that's...
Like, damn!
Yeah, like he stopped...
Like, damn, he old as a motherfucker!
Like he stopped aging at age 21, though. So anyway, my character was born around the time Adam and Eve was created. And my character used to be bullied a lot in school. So one day,
they wouldn't have had school back then.
Not on Earth. My character was kind of born in heaven, though.
Okay.
Originally.
That would make more sense.
Though, because he's half angel. So one day, a few centuries later, though, when my character turned 10 years old, he moved to the planet Earth in Japan around that time.
Why is it always gotta be Japan with you, man?
I don't know. Probably because the fact that my character's name is literally in Japanese. But
dude, you need to create some American shit.
Well, the thing...
Like, you need to create a character who's fully American.
Well, technically my character that I have is only half Japanese, though, because his human mother is Japanese, but his angelic father, well, is technically like half Indian, half black, so there's that. But anyway, I don't know. I was trying to come up with a character that had, I don't know. When I was designing my character, I was trying to, like, I didn't really think much of his, like, racial thing. Only thought
racial
of
background.
Yeah, like I only thought of his skin. Like I was trying to make his skin color more like, kind of like mine is. But anyway, so. Well, when my character was 10 years old, he moved to Japan, and if I remember correctly, it was either in Okinawa, where he was taking his dog for a walk.
Okinawa?
Yeah.
That's where, if anybody who's listening to us has ever seen The Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Mr. Miyagi. He comes from Okinawa.
Yeah. But anyway, as I was saying, so when my character was taking his dog for a walk, though, which was a beagle.
Walk. Dude, you're saying walk so funny.
Anyway, but so when my character was taking his dog for a walk, though, through the park. So
you hear this too, right?
Yep.
Speech impediments.
It's not a speech impediment, it's more of an accent that I have ever since I was little.
That's still something wrong with your speeches, bro.
But anyway, as I was saying, so my character took his beagle for a walk in the park, and what ended up happening was that there was like these 3 thugs from his school that he went to. And what ended up happening is that they decided to beat my character, took his dog and tie his dog to like, or basically killed his dog, tie the main character up to the tree so he can watch his dog die. And at the time, my character's powers was sealed up inside, though, because if his powers had awoken at the time, he would basically kind of just die, though, early. Because if his powers awoken any earlier, because my character is from a certain bloodline of angels. The bloodline that he came from is basically his soul can never die, can never get destroyed from anything, though. And every single time it gets destroyed, it just rebuilds back up, heals automatically. But his physical body does, but their physical body can still die. It's just that if they go on, like, let's say, Immortal World, they can instantly grow a new physical body, though, and that's from any attack, though, anything simple. But with my character, though, so my hold on, I gotta get something to drink.
I know, I'm sitting here, I'm eating as I'm talking. I'm waiting till, like, trying to keep my mouth not full, and I'm thirsty as hell.
But anyway, so as I was saying, so my character, he gets tied up to a tree, watches his dog die as one of the thugs stabs the dog in the eye.
What the fuck? That's brutal.
Yeah, and my character basically got so pissed off to the point where a giant like flame starts spinning around him, basically building a tower that you can literally see from space because it's that big. And what my character did was that he
that's got some fucking sauce, man.
Yeah,
I'm tired of eating sauceless shit.
And what my character did is that my character decides to like take the chain that he got wrapped around his waist, that he got tied up in, freaking decides to tie it around his like left arm all the way, and decides to snap all the thugs' neck, just clean off to the point where it just shows all their spines along with his head, with their heads. Like my character,
brutality.
Like my character is literally like faster than the Flash, and stronger than the Hulk, in his early stages of his powers awakening, though. But anyway, so later on, my character decides to fight Zeus in the alternate dimension, though, in Greek mythology, and Zeus basically wants Akira dead mainly because Zeus thought that Akira being, well, half angel would cause more of a problem. And god dang it! Hello? Yeah. I get it later.
What are you getting?
I have to get the mail out later from the mailbox. But
why don't you do it now so no one forgets?
How would I pause the podcast?
I don't know, but bro.
Yeah.
And technically, your headphones, as long as your controller's connected, you could walk out and get your mail.
Yeah. So, anyway, I'll be right back. I'll continue this conversation once I take care of this. Oh yeah, the song that I used as my ringtone is called 115 by... It's called 115 Right. Have you ever played the Tony and Black Ops 1?
By the way, I'm not playing this game. I'm just gonna sit here with the controller. Key for what?
Mailbox. I can't check the mailbox without it.
Do you have like a set mailbox area?
Yeah.
Like where all the mailboxes are?
Yeah.
That's weird, bro. So where the hell is your mailbox area? Dude, I'm trying to fucking eat, bro. I know, but I'm fucking hungry.
Checking mailbox, but I don't know where the key was at.
I know where my mailbox key, where the key to my mailbox is. Not even joking.
But anyway, as I was saying in the podcast before I got interrupted.
I know where the key to my mailbox is.
Anyway, as I was saying, so my character decides to challenge Zeus into a 1v1 fight. Because Zeus was having a problem with my character being half angel. However, what my character decides to do, my character did decide to try to spare Zeus's life, though. But what ended up happening is that Zeus tries to like stab Akira in the back, though. But what ended up happening is that my character did hit Akira in the back. But at the same time, my character didn't even flinch. All my character did was simply just backhanded Zeus and basically just killed him. And then Zeus's tear, because Zeus basically kind of was shedding a tear, one last tear before he died. Well, he got killed. Which then, that tear actually separated Akira's, well, like normal personality from his soul, which then created Kuryu, two twin katanas.
I guess that would make sense because Kuryu would represent his personality and his soul being split from one another.
Which then brought up another problem as well, another bad personality that Akira gets sometimes, depending on if he's having too much fun in his battles, which is bloodlust. Which what bloodlust mode is for my character is that whenever my character is basically taking too much damage, or if he's bleeding a lot, or if he's that's a different character. No, that's a completely different character I'm working on. They usually join after like the podcast is uploaded to YouTube. Yeah. But anyway, as I was saying is that so whenever Akira basically whenever Akira gets angry or loses too much blood, my character goes into a mode where the psychotic personality kind of comes in, called bloodlust mode, where basically he just goes into a like kind of a psycho personality, and at the same time he will literally not stop till he sees enemies. Like there was one time he faced a demon that had like the thing is like My character's soul is immortal though, but that because of a special bloodline that he's from. Like there's a like you can defeat him, but you can't really kill him because he's his physical body, but then when he goes to his back from either heaven or hell, he gets a new physical body. Well, his soul will automatically get a new physical body, though. Well, technically, he can use matter that's on Earth or on any mortal world, and yeah, then he can just use the crumbs or anything like that to make a new physical body. It's just that he can't really regenerate his physical body if he's in either heaven or hell, though. Yeah. It's compared to my Shadow's character, his character is way too overpowered than mine. Anyway, so you know what? I'm ending the podcast and explaining that off the podcast. Yeah, I'm gonna explain it off of the podcast.